there comes the champion, entering the ring for his 37th professional fight. 9-0 so far in heavyweight championship fights. A victory tonight would tie him with Joe Frazier for 5th on the all-time list in that category. Directly in front of Tyson was Aaron Snowell. He's now stepped ahead of a security guard. Jay Bright is the man just behind Tyson's shoulders now as he prepares to step up into the ring, whipping the ripped towel off over his head. Of course, the gladiator look remains intact. Black shoes, no socks, black trunks, Mike Tyson.
You know, it is a sign of the importance that boxing has to Mike Tyson, that no matter what goes on around him, he's ready to fight.
As he has been 36 times with 32 knockouts so far. Quickly now, and focusing on the beginnings of Carl Williams' strategy, which has to be the left jab, Ray Leonard's tip of the night.
Well, the left jab speaks for itself. That's the key punch for Carl Williams, to keep that left jab in Tyson's face, keep him off balance, but most importantly, snap it and not bring it down too fast, because what's going to happen, Tyson should counter that left jab. Now, once the fight becomes an inside fight, in fact, I believe that's going to be the case because Tyson's style is get inside, their right uppercut. That punch may accommodate Tyson's style, but in doing so, Williams better keep both hands up because Tyson throws an onslaught of punches each and every time, each and every opportunity. Now, Jim, this is my favorite combination. I call it the Tyson combo. It's a right hand to the liver section, then to the chin. And most of the time, the Tyson catches his opponents with this particular punch, it's over. Here we see him a good shot of it, right up to the chin. If Williams get against the corner or the ropes, look for this particular combination to take place. With taller opponents, Tyson has a tendency to launch in because of the height and reach advantage. But here, he may find the same thing with the taller Williams.
Tail of the tape, and you can see the big disparity in reach. Carl Williams with a 14-inch advantage there at 219.25 for Tyson and 218 for Williams. Both fighters appear to be in superb physical condition. Rules for the bout, combination, and before we look at rules, we'll look at the punch stat computations. Larry Merchant.
And here is our statistical profile of the activity of the fighters, which show in the fights that we examined remarkable similarities in the number of punches thrown and landed per round by Tyson Williams. But of course, there are different kinds of punches. Tyson throws the heavier stuff. Williams throws a majority of jabs.
And you see the 28 jabs per round Williams threw against Holmes. That is when he looked most effective. Rules for the fight, a combination of WBA and New Jersey rules. Most significant, the 3 knockdown rule. Rarely in effect for championship fights, is in effect tonight. It victimized Carl Williams in his fight against Mike Weber. Now we go to the ring announcer, Michael Buffer, for pre-fight introduction.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to Atlantic City's Convention Hall by way of Donald Trump's Trump Plaza Hotel and Casino on the boardwalk here in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Tonight, Don King Productions and the Trump Plaza present the World Heavyweight Championship. This bout is approved and sanctioned by the New Jersey State Athletic Control Board, Larry Hazard Sr., Commissioner, Deputy Commissioner Lawrence Wallace, and the Chairman is Jerry Gormley. The bout is governed by the rules and regulations of the World Boxing Association, represented by Dr. Elias Cordova and James J. Biggs. It is also sanctioned by the International Boxing Federation, President Robert W. Lee, and the World Boxing Council, President Jose Suleiman. The 3 judges selected by the New Jersey State Athletic Control Board for this bout are Rocky Castellani, Chuck Giampa, and Richard F. Murray. Chief physician at ringside, Dr. Frank B. Doggett. Also in attendance, Dr. Eric Wormser and Dr. Charles Wilson. The timekeeper for the bout is Roosevelt Gilbert, and counting for the knockdown seconds, Steve Smoger. And now, before we get started, I would like to introduce the gentleman in the ring at this time, a man who's responsible for bringing over 20 championship bouts to Atlantic City over the last 2 years. In addition to being the world's most famous entrepreneur, he is a best-selling author and our host this evening, Mr. Donald Trump. And now, ladies and gentlemen, from the Trump Plaza Hotel and Casino in Atlantic City, New Jersey, let's get ready to rumble! 12 rounds of boxing for the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world. The referee for this bout is Randy Neumann. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the white trunks with red trim, he weighs an even 218 pounds from Absecon, New Jersey. His professional record, 22 victories against only 2 defeats, 17 knockouts to his credit, and 14 of those 17 KOs within 5 rounds or less. Ladies and gentlemen, the #1 heavyweight challenger in the world today, Carl the Truth Williams. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the solid black trunks and weighing in at 219 1/4 pounds from Catskill, New York. His professional record is unblemished with 36 consecutive victories, 32 knockouts, 28 KOs in 5 rounds or less, and 16 in the first round alone. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the undisputed, the undefeated heavyweight champion of the world, Iron Mike Tyson.
Number 2, obey my commands. I'll shake hands and come out of the bell.
Keep in mind that Mike Williams has a tendency to get hit by left hooks. Carl Williams, excuse me. I can think of better tendencies that a fighter should have who's going out to face Mike Tyson.
Indeed, Carl Williams has been floored 7 times in his career. Twice by James Quick Tillis, twice by Jesse Ferguson, 3 times by Mike Weaver, and in every instance, the decisive blow was a left hook. The people in Williams' corner are sincerely worried about what he does in the first 30 seconds against the Tyson onslaught. And it would appear that the strategy to begin with is to hold, and referee Randy Neumann says, we're not going to start that way.
This is somewhat of a reunion here because both men are just throwing punches. In fact, Williams here has selected to fight Tyson inside. He claimed the other day that if Tyson throws any unnecessary punches, illegal punches, he will accommodate him and throw the same punches back.
Well, Frank Bruno felt the sting of Tyson's elbow several times, as other opponents have complained that they have felt it as well.
Because Williams' left jab is so strong, that should help him as long as he keeps that right hand up and watch Tyson's left hook, which is a powerful punch.
That's it. Let him go. All right, that's it. I'm here. Let him go. Get back.
Tyson Spinks. 1:32 instead of 1:31. It was, as you started to point out again, Larry, a left hook.
Williams was very unhappy at the end of that. Randy Neumann, the referee, asked him a question, obviously about how he felt or what his name was or where he was, and apparently he got the wrong answer because he stopped the fight immediately. I didn't see any reason to stop the fight. And I'm curious to see what that answer was, and I'm going into the ring to see if I can find out.
Good luck, Larry.
1:33, Larry. It was 2 seconds longer than the Spinks fight. The unofficial demarcation of the knockout comes at 1:33 of the first round. And you can see a disgusted Carl Williams who thinks that he should have been allowed to continue. And Ray, I've got to agree with Larry. It was a fairly peremptory stoppage.
Well, the way I judge it, because he appeared to be okay, but then again, the referee is closer to the pitcher than we are.
What was that question likely to be?
Where are you? What day is this? And here we see the left hook that put Williams down. Williams had dropped that right hand, and I had indicated earlier that the jab will be the key, but in throwing the left jab, he must also keep that right hand up and power. There's that left hook.
And you saw Mike pivot upward with both feet planted and turn the hips into the punch. This is where the power comes from.
The reason people fear Mike Tyson because he's one of the few, if not the only man, that can knock you out in the heavyweight division with one punch.
Here's another look at the devastating left hook.
And what Tyson does here, he bobs and weaves, gets under that jab and counters with a beautiful left hook.
Perfectly timed as Williams was dropping the right hand, just as you said he did after throwing the jab.
Well, what happened for Williams is the fact that his left hand, his left jab rather, was working, and he felt very comfortable.
That was a look back at the conversation between Randy Neumann and Carl Williams, which led to the stoppage.
Mike Tyson, as usual, awesome.
I'm reminded of a night in the Meadowlands in New Jersey when a referee stopped a bout between Mike Rossman and Victor Galindez. After a similar conversation, Rossman, the victim of the knockout, he chased the ref across the ring yelling, "What was the right answer?"
I'm with Randy Neumann, the referee of the fight. Obviously, the people in and out of the ring are unhappy that the fight was stopped. Randy, why did you stop the fight?
When he got up at 8, he was wobbly. He wasn't standing up. He was leaning against the ropes. I asked him a question, a very simple question. How do you feel? Not for the answer, but to see how he responded. His eyes were blank. His expression was blank. He had no answer.
Is there any chance that he misunderstood what you wanted him to respond to?
I don't think so. Let me tell you why. He's had a lot of professional fights and a lot of amateur fights. When a fighter is knocked down, and I had 38 fights, when a fighter is knocked down, the first thing he wants to prove when he gets up to the referee is that he's in good shape. Number one, he wasn't standing on his feet. He was leaning on the ropes. Number two, he couldn't answer me. And number three, his eyes were dead.
Thank you very much, Randy. And now back to ringside.
All right, thanks very much, Larry, and thank you for pointing out that the crowd is booing, as there were obviously a fair number within this congregation who did not feel that the bout should have been stopped quite so quickly. Randy Neumann with a decisive and clear-headed answer to the questions. He knows exactly why he did what he did.
Well, Neumann is a competent referee. In fact, that he must have saw something in Williams that we didn't apparently see. But from the outside looking in, it appeared that Williams got up and was able to compose himself. But then again, I think it's left up to the referee.
And now we go back to Larry Merchant in the ring, I believe, with the champion. Go, Larry.
All right, once again, Mike, the interview has to be longer than the fight. I'm sorry about that. What happened from your point of view? Did you see him really dazed?
Well, no, I noticed my trainers would tell me we're slipping and hooking. So when we slip, because usually I come in that slip and I get in there, and that's the hardest part, is getting in there, and I never threw the punch. And so we're practicing like a slip. So you're in there, instantaneously, bing, throw the punch. And I did. I was successful.
What? Were you surprised that he stayed on top of you as much as he did, that he didn't try to move?
Oh, I loved it. I loved it. I just knew it took just with a matter of time. I loved it.
So you knew that as soon as he was doing that you were going to get a clean shot sooner or later.
Exactly. And my punches were accurate and pinpoint. And I knew eventually I was going to get him.
He has a reputation for getting hit with left hooks. Were you looking for that opening?
No, I was very confident. I wanted to hit him, catch him with a good right hand. Believe me, my right hand is my favorite punch, but I never catch anyone with it. You know, it's my best punch, and I always hit guys with left hook.
All right, we're going to try to take a look at the
where's the monitor?
At the monitor, if we can find it, so that we can determine what happened.
Champion non-pro.
All right. Okay. It was a clean left hook. Did you? I mean, you sparred with him years ago. We know that it didn't mean anything. Were you surprised that he went so fast?
Well, no. I knew if I catch someone clean, they'll go, regardless who they are.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, when the referee he hit him with a shot, it looked like he was able to get up. But I guess the referee called what he saw, because I didn't think he was hurt that bad. But I know I hit him with a clean shot.
Speculate for me. How long would it have taken you to get him down a second time if the fight went on?
Oh, no problem. I'd have been all over him. Maybe it's better that the referee did stop early. I would have been all over him. That's when I'm most dangerously, when I know I have someone hurt.
For the record, Mike, I don't know if you know it, this fight went a couple of seconds longer than the Spinks fight. So far in this building, in the last 13 months, you've fought about 1 round and 2 fights.
Well, it's good. I like coming in this building. I like being here. And Donald Trump, he don't play around. He pays that money up. And for this fight, Don told me if I knock him out, he'll pay me $100 grand. And I'm looking forward to that $100 grand.
Who? Don is going to pay for you?
Don King, yeah. $100 grand for a knockout.
All right, we all want to be there when that happens.
When is this going to happen?
Right, in the post-press
You
conference.
get to, oh, yes. My church can use some of that money. Yes.
All right.
Reverend Henry J. Payton, Holy Trinity Baptist Church.
No doubt.
Let's talk about, all right, now let's talk. You've talked about being in control of your career. Tell us what you think is next. Who is next?
Well, I'm just taking it one step at a time. I'll fight anybody, you know what I mean? I don't discriminate from anybody. I'm the best fighter in the world, and there's no man that can beat me.
Does this mean that Holyfield is or is not your next opponent?
Well, he's in my future, but I don't think he's in my immediate future. But come on, Holyfield, don't matter. That's kids' play.
So you think that you'll fight Holyfield like early next year, and you may have 1 or 2 fights before then?
Most likely, but you know what I mean? If they can discuss our things with their people, we can fight in 2 weeks, 3 weeks. He caught a quick knockout, I got a quick knockout. We both still need to work. We didn't get any work.
All right. Jose Ribalta was one of the fighters being considered for your next opponent, and he had a dreadful outing in a preliminary tonight. Did that eliminate him?
Well, it looks kind of dreary for him, but you never know. If he have a couple more fights and he cleans up his act, he's always a good prospect.
What about Douglas, who looked a little better, if not great, in another preliminary? He's been mentioned as a possible opponent.
I take all comers. I don't duck any man.
Can we assume that Michael Dokes is one of the prospects?
All comers. Come one, come all, because nobody can get close to me. They're not even close. I'm the best fighter in the world.
There's been discussions that today people from Israel have been offering you money to come and fight there. You've been reluctant to go abroad. Do you think that as a world champion, as someone who says, I'm the best man on the planet, that you will start to fight abroad?
Well, eventually we'll do that, you know what I mean? But like you said, I'm not in a hurry to leave my country. You know what I mean? I love my country. I'm not in a hurry to leave anywhere. But, you know what I mean? If things are right, I'll fight anyone in any place. In their backyard.
How would you describe right now? You've got a lot of things past you. You've always been able to focus on fighting no matter what the other stuff has gone on in your life. Are you as content as you can be now with the situation that you have?
I want to fight, and destruct the world because I'm the best fighter in the world. Thank you very much, Larry.
Thank you. Jim?
All right, Larry. Thank you, Mike Tyson. Thank you, Larry. And here is the man the boxing public waits to see Mike Tyson fight. A man who 6 days ago knocked out a pretender from Brazil named Adilson Rodriguez in 2 rounds and now waits to see when his turn is coming. Evander Holyfield, first things first. How did Mike look to you tonight?
He was impressive. He hit the guy with good left hook, took him out. He did a job well done.
Would you have thought that he could knock Carl Williams out in 1 minute and 33 seconds?
Well, you know, I felt that, you know, anybody could knock anybody out with a clean shot as well as he delivered. He delivered a good shot right on the button, got him out of there.
In his interview with Larry Merchant, Mike acknowledged that you are not likely to be next on his list. He did not say for sure whether he would fight Jose Ribalta or Buster Douglas or Michael Dokes or any of the other names which are being bandied about, but he seemed to make it pretty clear that he's not going to fight you next. Are you getting impatient?
No, I'm not getting impatient. My time is coming, and I will be ready when my time comes.
When will you fight again?
Well, it's all depending on how long is the wait. If the wait is 6 months or so, then I would take a fight in October.
All right, so Evander Holyfield looks forward to a fight in October. Ray Leonard, your judgment of how long the public is willing to wait, and what does tonight's 90-second knockout do to the expectations regarding Tyson Holyfield?
Well, what happens, it creates more and more of an aura and a persona for Mike Tyson, because what's going to happen now is the intrigue is whether or not Evander Holyfield can deal with the Mike Tyson. As far as he's concerned, he can deal with him.
Is there any other fighter in the division who could pose a real test to Mike other than Evander Holyfield?
I think it's a matter of economics and credibility, and Holyfield has that credibility.
All right, Evander Holyfield, we thank you very much for your time. Congratulations on your victory last week. And we look forward to someday seeing you in the ring with the undisputed champ. Right now we go back up to Larry Merchant for more from the ring. Larry?
Okay, I'm with Carl Williams and with his trainer, Carmine Graziano. Carl, starting from the beginning, why were you as aggressive as you were, which preceded the knockout?
Well, I wouldn't call it a knockout. I wasn't knocked out. I mean, he knocked me down. The referee stopped the fight. I don't know why. I think politics is involved in all of that. I think they're just setting up the Holyfield fight. Now, I wasn't even hurt.
Did you understand what the referee's question when he said...
Was up. My hands was up. When the referee said I put my hands up like this there, I was ready to go. He just said, you know, I don't know. You know, I don't know what the hell happened.
All right, you've been knocked down a number of times in your career, and every single time you've gotten up, and in some occasions you've fought better. From your experience, shouldn't you have assured the referee, look, I'm okay, let's go?
Well, I think it was an inexperienced referee. This was his first championship fight. When he seen me down the first time, obviously he just said, okay, it's over. He said, I think he said something to the effect, are you all right? Are you all right? So I immediately put my hands up, and what happened? He stopped the fight. I don't know what's going on. I know it's political. Because I wasn't hurt. I've been down many a times. I've been down 2-3 times in a fight and have gotten up and knocked the opponent out. So I know it was political. I'm not even hurt. You know, I feel bad for not even doing anything. I didn't even really, you know, I didn't even get a chance to show my stuff.
Talking about showing your stuff, explain to us why you felt it was necessary to go to Mike Tyson. He says that when he saw you coming to him and fighting him that way, he was elated.
Well, it wasn't that. It wasn't the fact that I was just coming to him. I didn't feel that I should lay back. You see, with Mike, you have to show Mike that you're not going anywhere. You know what I mean? Okay, he caught me with a good shot. Okay, fine, no problem. I've been caught with good punches before. That's not the problem. And I've been down before. I've been there before. So why did the referee just prematurely stop the fight like that? I've been in that predicament before and have got up and knocked people out and have won. You know.
Carl, you've stated your case eloquently. Thank you. Now back to ringside.
All right, thank you very much, Larry. A very animated, quite disappointed Carl Williams. Lucid, obviously clear-headed. Any further reflections on the judgment to stop the fight based on having seen Carl there, Ray?
Well, again, now he seems to be pretty clear-headed, and he